and welcome back to the Cupcake Jemma channel with me, Gemma. Now, if you follow us on Instagram or if you watch our shorts, you will have seen recently that we made a video which went pretty viral. My first viral video, I'm so excited. And it was about how to cut a cake into as many pieces as possible in a really neat way. And it caused quite a stir. Not only did it get loads and loads and loads of views, it also caused quite a few arguments among the people commenting, saying the pieces were too small or this is just right, and there were some people kicking off with each other about like how big their pieces of cake should be, about how people shouldn't have a party if they can't get a big cake. Anyway, I thought I would show you 3 different ways of cutting your cake so that everyone can be happy, from the people that need a big fat slice to the people that only just want a little bit of cake. And yeah, so I've iced up these 3 different cakes and we're going to start with the classic wedge. So wedges is the most classic, simplest way of slicing a cake, and it has been since the dawn of time. It's great because you get a really big wedge of cake and everyone's piece will be the same and have the same ratio of sponge to icing. Using a long knife, start by cutting the cake in half down the middle. Then cut one side in half, again horizontally. Make sure you give your knife a wipe with a damp cloth between cuts to make sure all your slices are clean and tidy. Then cut each quarter into 3 or 4 evenly sized pieces depending on how many guests you have. I usually do 1/2 of the cake at a time to give the cake a bit of stability as you cut, or else the wedges sometimes have a tendency to topple over. I'm cutting my 7-inch cake into 12 pretty generous slices, but you could easily get another 4 pieces out of this. Next up, it's slabs. And this is what I used to do for years at parties and weddings. It makes the cake go really far, and also usually at weddings, by the time the cake comes around, the guests are pretty full from the wedding meal. So a smaller piece of cake is usually perfect. You want to have a clean chopping board handy, then slice one of the round edges off the cake, about 2 inches in, and transfer it to the chopping board. Cut this into 3 similarly sized pieces. These are the bits for the buttercream lovers out there because there is loads of buttercream. Pop those pieces onto a tray and then cut another slab from the cake. And then repeat, basically, chopping them on the chopping board, ending up with lots of similarly sized pieces. If you have loads of very full guests or a particularly tall cake, you can even cut each piece in half again. I find this method really useful and simple, however, it is the messiest way to cut the cake, and I'm not a fan of the fact that not all of the pieces look the same thanks to the first and last slices. Lastly, it's the geometric style, and this is my absolute favourite way to cut cakes these days. Since most of the parties I get invited to are for 4-year-olds lately, the last thing any of us parents want is the aftermath of giving a toddler a huge slice of sugary cake. Not only that, but the cakes are often small and need to stretch to all the kids, and in some cases the parents too, and this is the best way to do that. Plus it's the least messy and most fun. Start by cutting the cake into even eighths. Then, starting with one of the wedges, cut diagonally from the centre of the outside edge to about halfway up either side of the main cuts. Repeat this all the way round so you have a pattern with diamonds in the middle and little triangles around the outside. You can now remove those little triangular pieces and put them onto a tray or plates, and then one by one remove the diamond pieces and cut them in half to create 2 more triangles. Repeat this until you've cut the entire cake. So, that's 3 really, really simple ways of icing. 3 simple ways of cutting cakes, from getting 32 pieces out of a 7-inch cake, which is loads, to I think you can get about 22 roughly slices doing it the slab way, and between 12 and 16 slices out of a 7-inch cake for the classic wedge. Now, let me know if we have changed your mind about how to slice a cake. Let us know what you think, which one's your favourite, which one is your favourite amount of cake. I know what my favourite amount of cake, me and Nick have been discussing it as we've been filming it, and actually it's this guy, this little amuse-bouche, let's call him. Perfect amount of icing for me, perfect amount of cake, a little bit of jam for a little bit of... So that's my perfect bit, but I totally understand if you want a bit more. Anyway, please let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Give us a like if you liked it, and yeah, happy cake slicing, guys. Good luck at your next party or your next wedding. I'm gonna eat the cake now. Yeah. It's perfect.
Perfect for now.
Perfect for me.